What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. First off, before we get started, I want to say thank you to you guys so much. If it wasn't for you guys in the comments of last video, I could have had a huge catastrophic failure on the engine, and I really do appreciate all your guys' input on every video, and this is why I love doing these things. And if you're wondering, what are you talking about? If you look in the comment section of the last video, you can see where people are talking about my timing chain was drooping in the middle between the cams because I had set it up the correct way, but sort of backwards in the sequence that wasn't allowing proper chain tension. So I did get it fixed, but I'm gonna show you guys what happened here and then what we're gonna be looking at in this video. So stay tuned. So in the last video, there was a lot of droop going on right here. The chain actually drooped quite a bit in between the cam gears themselves. And what had happened was I had torqued these down prior to laying the chain on. So they had really no movement on back and forth when the chain was laid on to kind of get everything set. And then what happened was I put these guides on, right? Which is normal. And then went to go put the tensioner in. Well, the tensioner has like a little release push pin like this that sits in here that is usually held in with a bunch of pressure. Like usually you gotta like really pull this thing out to get it to release. Well, when I had put it in, I had to force this into place, and then this just kind of like slid out with no tension, and then it didn't release. And that was due to the chain not having proper, the chain not properly sitting where it needed to go. So all I did was cracked this bolt loose to let this sprocket freely spin. Chain immediately dropped down, and I was able to pull the pin out of here, and the tensioner shot, everything got tight, torqued these back down, and now our timing is good. And then another pro tip I got from everybody was after this tensioner pushes out, you pull in on the guide. I've already done this, but you pull in on the guide pretty good, and there's actually like little teeth in here. You just push the guide in until it clicks like another tooth to really get it set in. But timing is all set now. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this thing sealed up and start prepping everything to go on the engine and start putting stuff on, which is super exciting. I'm so pumped. I'm like super focused now, and I really want to just get this done. I did get in most of my hardware. Honestly, it's the most crucial stuff that I got anyway. I got the timing cover hardware from Chad at Race Statics. Huge shout out to him. These things are gorgeous. I've had his product before, but I kind of wanted to get brand new ones and make everything super uniform. So the timing cover will have this hardware, and I think I got some for, this is the intake manifold. So these will replace the intake manifold bolts. And then this is black I got to match. I have his fender hardware kit on the car, as you can see like here. So I got his fender hardware right here. Now I purchased the hood hardware as well. So to replace these bolts, and it'll match the fender hardware real nice. So that's what I was telling you guys, how I'm gonna kind of go like all out on this and really pay attention to the little details. The only thing I gotta wait for is that I'm missing a seal because of powder coating. It's this seal right here, which goes over the VVT solenoid. That goes basically right in here. I'm waiting for the seal for the valve cover, so I won't be able to put the valve cover on just yet. I'm just waiting on that, so it'll be a couple days on that, but we'll be able to get everything else on the motor while we're waiting for just being able to put the valve cover on. That's no big deal at all. It'll still allow us to get everything else on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the front seal onto the timing cover. For those of you who don't know, the front seal looks like this, and it has a back side that has like an open groove with like a spring in it. You want that side to face the motor, but you're going to put it in this way and press it in through the front using like a flat block or something, or if you have a bearing tool, like press tool. But I'll just use like something flat, like a piece of wood, and just kind of tap it into place to make sure it's flush around here. So that's what we're going to be doing, putting the timing cover on and start bolting some things up. I'm not going to really talk too much more, I don't think, through this. I might just start throwing some stuff on and showing you guys along the way, because it's crunch time and we need to get this thing together. But I just wanted to give you guys kind of an introduction and overall say thank you for the help in last video. I really appreciate it. Nobody's perfect, and that's you know, a true example of human error, because that could have been bad. So huge shout out to you guys. Really appreciate it. Oh, transfer case is all back together. I already put 1 quart of fluid in it. I just need to get another quart because I didn't have any more, and get this the rest of the way filled up, and we're good to go. It's rotating like butter, so it feels awesome in there. So yeah, let's get to it, guys. All right, guys, so I'm gonna put sealant all the way around the edge, all the way back up top around these center areas, because those need to be sealed too, here and here. I already got my new front seal in. I need to get one of those like caulk guns for sealant, because it makes it way easier. But I'll put some sealant around this now. All right, all of the surfaces are coated. I'm gonna give it like, I don't know, a minute or so, and then I'm gonna get this thing on there. Should be plenty of sealant on there, plus it flattens and pushes out as you tighten it down. But my goal is to put it on there as clean as possible, and shouldn't be a problem since people do this while the engine's still in the car when they do VVT replacement. So just got to be careful. That's really it. But yeah, I'm gonna get this thing on there, and I'll start showing you what the bolts look like when we're getting it on. Boys, this is looking sick. I'm literally just driving them down to where they're just kind of where they flatten out. I'm not torquing them at all yet. I just want to get them all, my bad, that one I did, but I just want to get them all seated, trying to do it evenly so that it pushes out the sealant. But this gold hardware is looking nasty. I'm so glad that we went with it. I think it'll be absolutely worth it. Because then there's a little torquing sequence that you got to do with these. Should be my last couple here. That looks so good. Oh my goodness. I just gotta get the big bolts in there, and we'll be ready to go. So I'll be back in 1 second. Guys, look how epic. That looks so good. So good. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy I went with that. That is gonna look so tight when, especially when the valve cover goes on. It's just the little things that make such a difference, man, I tell you. So I'm gonna get everything torqued down to spec based off the spec sheet I gave you in the last video, and we'll get it all torqued down. We're good to go. We got sealant pushing out around the whole edge, so don't believe we'll have a leak anywhere. Be good to go. Super pumped. I am putting the water pump on. We are on to accessories, and this is super exciting. I'm like so pumped right now. So with RTV, or gasket maker, this specific ultra gray that I'm using, it calls to be finger tight, right? Finger tight, and then let it sit for an hour, and then after an hour it says to then torque it to spec. So it just allows it time to set up and get right before you actually final torque it down. But I'm putting the water pump on now because after this is torqued down, I'm gonna start putting on accessories. It's gonna be awesome. The only thing I won't be able to really put on is the alternator because of the engine stand, but I'll be able to do that later on. But super exciting. I'm actually like super pumped right now. This is a long time in the making. So water pump's on then, and I'm gonna torque these down to spec and then move on from there. PCV plates on, and now I'm gonna torque these down to 97 inch-pounds. Just right there. Doesn't call for a specific order, So I'm just going to kind of do the old star pattern. But if you're wondering, these two outlets, normal people, some people have like a actual PCV valve. I don't run those. I have two catch cans that are full vent to atmosphere. A lot of big power cars you'll see will do that. So I have two lines here that run to a vented can, and then I have two lines on the valve cover that you guys can see here that have a catch can as well, and that's just to get rid of all the excessive crankcase pressure at higher boost levels. So I'm gonna get this one on, and that's just another little part down to seal this bad boy off. All right, so all the bolts on the timing cover are hand tight, and all the RTV is set up. It's been an hour, so I'm gonna have Cass tighten them all down and torque them down. And like I said, this website before, I'll put this down below. It gives you torque specs for like everything engine related when you're putting something together. So you just follow your torque sequence, and it tells you how to torque them down to what foot-pounds or inch-pounds that you need. And you just follow the diagram on how they want you to do it. So we're gonna start torquing these down, and then after that's done, we'll be 100% sealed up minus the valve cover. And as you see, I'm already getting accessories on, PCV plates on, and water pumps on. And I got the water outlet right here prepped and ready to go. That's gonna start going on, injectors, so on and so forth. But we're gonna start torquing things down, and we'll see you guys in a minute. All right, so with the torque wrench, you put it in here, and it's set up to click when you hit what it's set at. Hear that? So while you're torquing, you want to push like on the head so that this stays in the hole. So I did 1 and 2. So you'll start with 3, which is this one right here.
This one?
Yep. So so as you're doing it,
like this.
Yep. So push down and then also push in, so you keep it in there. Just like that. So that's torqued down to the spec. It's not for me to say you love. It's not for me to say you love. Okay, so yep, 13. These will be 40 foot-pounds. Make sure it's fully seated. There you go. Nice.
Which one?
This one and that one. Bam. Boom. Thanks. Good job. Everything's all torqued down, went according to the pattern, and then you finish off with the big bolts. So if you're ever wondering, it starts off 1, 2, and then starts going around in like a funky pattern, and that's just to make sure everything's seated properly so that there's even pressure going around the whole thing. So that's all torqued, and water pumps all torqued, PCV plates all torqued, and now we're gonna start getting into other stuff like the injectors, like I was saying before, and really start piecing this thing together, because by the end of this video, you guys are gonna see a lot of stuff mounted, like almost ready to drop in, minus some other things, and we got to put the clutch on and all that stuff. So definitely progress being made, and it's very exciting because this is all coming together so nice, and it looks amazing. This is gonna come together pretty quick.
Ready.
And you know, peep the merch. You guys want hoodies? It's starting to get a little chilly out. You guys can head over to our merch store on Teespring and check them out. It is warm.
It's warm.
Yeah, this is a premium hoodie that you can get. There's like a regular pullover, and then there's like a premium that has like better quality. You can get one like that, and they come in different colors too. So you can just basically pick what logo color you want, red, black, or I think green. And then you can pick the color hoodie you want too. So definitely check it out. It's starting to get cool out. So link in the description below, always, for our merch store. Go check it out. Bam! Fuel injectors are in, fuel rail is on. It's starting to look like something, boys, I'll tell you that. So now we got our sweet Xclutch. This is a dual ceramic twin disc clutch. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the pilot bearing in. Fun fact for you guys, you just basically inset this into the crank, right? So it's flush, and then you get like something like a socket that fits it, and you tap it in, and the clearance from the edge of the bearing to the outer face of the crank is 4 millimeters. So you just got to get like a measuring device that can do 4 millimeters and measure that out. But we're going to tap this in, have a fresh bearing in there, and then we're going to get the flywheel on and get that torque down so that we can start assembling the clutch onto the engine. Fun stuff. All right, so basically what you do is I take like a socket and put it on here, and you tap this in. So I have this tool here, it's set for 4 millimeters. So basically what you'll do is you'll put this on there and you're gonna wanna have the bearing inset until this is flat on here and it touches the bearing. You'll see what I'm saying in a second. So I'm just gonna slowly keep tapping this in. So as I go, I'll check. It's not there yet, so keep tapping away. You don't want to go too much. So we're not there yet. That might be our ticket. All right, so that's it. So you just want to check it all the way around. And I'm right on it, and I have no rocking back and forth. I know it's right on the edge. And I have this set to the low side because the factory tolerance actually calls for 4 to 5 millimeters. So I'm going with 4. It could go in as far as 5, so they give you a pretty big tolerance to play with. So I have it right where basically 4 is, right? And that's all the way around. That's what you want to make sure too, is that it's all the way around, right? So I know that that is set in and we'll be good to go. Probably just give it one little like taper around the edges just to make sure it is good. But yeah, see, looks like it's all seated in there real nice. So
a little taparoo.
That's what it is. 4 to 5 millimeters. So you ready to get this freaking flywheel on?
Let's do it.
Got this beautiful Xclutch. Huge shout out to these guys. They wanted to work with us, so I sent a bunch of stickers, and they give you really nice colored instructions on how to set this up. So they tell you how to set up the flywheel to make sure it's good to go. On our platform, nothing against any of their hardware, but on our platform, pretty much everybody uses OEM flywheel bolts, and that's what I'm going to use. I got all brand new OEM flywheel bolts here. You do want to put some thread locker on there to hold them in place, and go by your factory torque specs on these. But it shows you how to take apart the clutch, how to align it, and put it all together. This is like all like super crazy material stuff too. Like this is like some hardcore material. I think it's like chromoly or something. Super high-end stuff. So like they give you flywheel bolts here. I'm sure it's really good, but I just trust the factory stuff. Throw up bearing, and obviously the twin disc clutch. So we got to actually take apart this whole thing and then get the flywheel and get ready to bolt that on. So huge shout out to Xclutch. Really appreciate you guys. Let's get to it. This is, it shows gearbox side, transmission side. the clutch. So this is probably the first disc in here. So it says pay attention to the way you take it apart. So it looks like this top ring, like this. So I'll probably just do like this. So the clutch says this side. So I'm gonna put it just how it was, like that. And then there's another ring. Guessing lined up with each other like that. Another clutch disc like that. And then this is the flywheel, which is a beast. So it says to clean this with a good rag. So I'm gonna clean this off, wiped off, and good to go. So we'll have that ready. It's a nice clutch, dude.
It's
like heavy
beefy.
duty, yeah.
It's beefy.
It's definitely heavy duty. Good.
Yep.
Okay, so now the flywheel's on. Now what we're gonna wanna do is get this thing ready to torque down. And the way I'm gonna do it is hold the crankshaft on the other side and torque this down. Don't do that if you have friction washers on the crank. I have a keyed crank, so I can kind of afford it. It's not really gonna equate to anything. On the other side, they do make like flywheel tools that you can like hold the flywheel in place that you can get, but yeah, I don't have one. So we're just gonna kind of roll with it. I'll have Corey kind of hold the other side with like a pry bar, and then I'll torque the opposite way so that we're good to go. And that'll be it. So we're gonna get these torqued down. 118 foot-pounds on these bolts here in a specific pattern. I'll pull up for you guys here. It's like that from the top. So basically a star pattern. Up, down, left, right, bottom, up. Easy.
Easy.
So as long as you go on that, and it's 111 to 118.8 foot-pounds.
Why the 0.8? Why the 0.8?
Man, might as well just go 119.
Yeah.
I round up. So. Always important to go back and check to make sure every one of them was torqued down, because some of them, when you start torquing down across patterns and stuff like that, there may be one that like loosens up torque a little bit when they start pulling in, but all these look great so far. Good. Around the world. I think that's the one I started with. No, it's this one.
Nice.
Sweet. So alignment tool still fits in. They say it's smart to check these, check the alignment tool every like so often to make sure that it's still sliding in and lining up, because they want to make sure that your transmission will do the same when it goes to link in. And all these teeth, all these paddles, I don't even know what they call it, fingers I call them, suck in as you're torquing these down. And they say you should be able to stick a flat edge across and it should clear, which it's pretty dang close. So
I think they said by 10 millimeters.
10 millimeters. So looks like it'll be good to me. We'll just check some things over. I'll leave that thing in there, but that's sweet, dude. That clutch is.
It's a shame it's gonna be covered up.
I know, dude. I said that when I unboxed this. Was like, it sucks that clutches are so nice looking, and then you just cover them up with the transmission, and they just look like crap every time after that. So sweet. That's in there like swimwear. So pretty sweet. I'm pretty pumped about it. So like I said, huge shout out to Xclutch. If you guys need anything from them, hit me up and get you guys hooked up. So we're just going to kind of continue on and get some things buttoned up on the long block itself. And then we're going to start getting ready to put the transmission and all that stuff on and get ready to freaking party.
Purple People Eater.
Purple People Eater. 9,000. Boys, we are cruising. We got pulleys, we got an AC compressor, we have power steering, we have intake manifold on, throttle body on, knock sensor, PCV plate, clutch, high pressure fuel pump, neck outlet with the Damond Motorsports EGR delete. It is looking sick. I am so pumped right now. You have no idea. This is looking epic, dude, and I am stoked. Look at how sick that freaking powder coating looks. Gold hardware, looking awesome. There's gonna be gold hardware up here. I'm just waiting for it to get here. This is just laid on here right now. But everything is torqued down, like legit torqued down, so that we have this ready to go. All the pulleys are torqued down, AC, compressor, everything's good to go. Man, guys, I'm getting so hyped right now. All I need to do is get the hard line for the fuel rail to come back around and hook up to the high pressure fuel pump. Then I'll hook this up to the PRV. And dude, it is sick. That Xclutch looking nasty. Can't wait to let this thing eat. Man, oh man. The only thing really left I have to do is obviously the valve cover, but I need to get the oil cooler on because I'm still waiting on it. So oil cooler, and then once that's on there, I can get the transmission on. I can't really get the transmission on whenever, but get the transmission on, transfer case, and get this sucker ready to drop in. Once I get this thing ready to get the transmission on, I'm going to pull it off the engine stand, hook it up to the engine hoist, and put the exhaust manifold on, get the alternator, stuff like that. That's real quick. That takes 2 seconds just to have it ready to go. So when we drop it in, we really don't have anything else to do but to plumb all the vacuum lines and hook up all the wiring, and we'll be ready to go. This is epic, and I'm super pumped to share this with you guys. Man, I can't believe we're here. I've been waiting for this. I mean, literally everything on this engine is fresh. So, absolutely hyped about the whole thing. Can't wait. Got Damond Motorsports on deck. All the little bits and pieces. Just take it. Take it all in, boys. Take it all in. Super sick. I am going to get a new tensioner because I just want to. The tensioner I had is kind of sketch. So I'm going to get a new tensioner. I'm going to go pick that up at AutoZone. They actually sell a real cool one now with like a little nut on it so that you can relieve tension if you ever have to change a belt. And I have to get a belt anyway, so I might as well go there and grab both. And yeah, super awesome. The level of excitement is real right now. So honestly, all we have to do is get this bad boy hooked up to the trans side and get the transfer case on. I can't do all that until I get the engine off the stand. I gotta get it on the engine crane because it'll be way too heavy for this stand when it's all on there. So gonna be sweet. But I'm gonna wrap this episode up here. We made major progress, and the next episode, guys, I'm almost positive that we will be dropping this in the car. I'm pretty confident by the time the next episode rolls around that we'll be dropping this thing in the car, and I know you guys will be super hyped for that, and as well as I. We got some awesome things on the way. Just a sigh of relief. Everything is hooked up and ready to go. Man, smash that like button if you guys are pumped. Until next time, we will see you later. Peace.